What is up, Raider Nation? It is me, Bigz. I'm here with Raiderdamus. This is Uncovered from the Undroppables, Raiders Unrivaled. Um, and producer, if you want to hit that intro. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay.
Always pumps me up.
Big Boned here. Bigz at Big Boned FFB on Twitter. Raiderdamus Tyler Smith is with me. What happens if I do that? I show our names. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing very well. Very well.
Good.
Looking forward to the things in this off season that actually matter.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Dang it. The combine starts on Tuesday.
That's a very exciting day when we get to see how much all these kids weigh and how tall they are, what their shoe size is, and how long particular parts of their bodies are, and how much they can bench press and jump and all that good stuff.
How they did on the Wonderlic.
Yeah, the Wonderlic, the intelligence test that doesn't actually measure anything, because you get like 4 points for writing your name. If you could spell your name properly, you could have gone to Florida State. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody can go to Florida State. They don't exactly have the most rigorous what do you call it? Application.
Do you have a pulse? You can go to Florida State, sure.
Right. Ooh, we're big. We're big.
Hey,
we're big.
Well, that is your name.
Yeah. All right, so not a lot of stuff to do this week. We'll have a much more productive show next week. Yeah, you could say that just because there's going to be so much more. Like in the last week since we were here, nothing has happened. Except for one article that came out that I wanted to talk about, and the implication is that Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce may not necessarily be on the same page as far as what to do at the quarterback position. So the way that Tony Pauline over on Sportskeeda describes it is that Antonio Pierce wants to roll with AOC this year. And Tom Telesco doesn't. He wants to go grab a big name quarterback. What do you think about that?
That's absolute silliness. Tom Telesco would not have gotten the job in the first place if he had sat down with Antonio Pierce and been on the same page with him. Antonio Pierce was hired for a reason, because he has a vision for the future of this team and a specific way to get to the promised land where he wants to go. And you're not going to get there with a quarterback on the level of Aiden O'Connell. I'm sorry. We saw the last Super Bowl a week and a half ago. Here's where you need to be to win the Super Bowl. We saw the Baltimore Ravens in a certain place in their team history and how good their team is. They couldn't do it. They're not on that level yet for a variety of reasons, mostly being that they're chicken shit. The Raiders need to have a quarterback at a specific level, that being close to Patrick Mahomes or on that elite level like Lamar Jackson is, to get to where they need to go. They have the defense to get there. They don't necessarily have the offensive line to get there. That needs to be patched up a little bit. They have good skill position players. But Tom Telesco would not be in the position he is right now if he and Antonio Pierce were not in lockstep about the quarterback position. It's absolute nonsense what I read in that article.
Yeah, and I mean it comes from somebody who I've never heard of. I'm not questioning Tony Pauline's credentials, but I stay pretty well informed in the world of Raider information, and I've never heard that name before, so I don't know. He mentions in the article that he got that from an insider. So who's the insider? What are you talking about? Like, if Hondo said it, I would give it
Sure.
some credence.
I mean, who am I to doubt Tony Pauline, right? But the article, from what I read, seemed like it was for somebody from a Bears perspective who was really trying to get rid of Justin Fields at all costs because they have to draft Caleb Williams and they want an excuse to do so without major drama.
Yeah,
And I mean, there are so many teams besides the Raiders you can pawn Justin Fields off on. And the Raiders are about the last place I would want him to go because he did not have success with Luke Getsy. And I want somebody who's going to have success with Luke Getsy. I don't think the Raiders have any business trading for Justin Fields and putting him in that kind of situation again, set up to fail.
right. Yeah, I mean, again, we're we're in the the last throes of February, so we don't have any combine numbers. We don't know what's going to happen with the free agency. We don't know any of this information, and things will happen over the next few months. But we got to talk about something. Uh, okay, like I said, the combine starts on Tuesday. What players are you excited to see in the combine?
I mean, I'm going to go with the absolute easy answer on this one, the quarterbacks. About 3 years ago, I looked at this draft class for quarterbacks, all the names that were on it, and all the names that are still on it to this day, even with guys not declaring for the draft like Quinn Evers.
Right.
Or Quinn Ewers, sorry, mispronounced his name there. But this is the best quarterback class I've seen since before I was born, the 83 draft with Elway and Marino in it. I
And
mean,
Ken
it's all,
O'Brien, UC Davis legend Ken O'Brien.
obviously Ken O'Brien. I mean, how could I forget Ken O'Brien, the great Ken O'Brien, and the great Todd Blackledge as well, the Kansas City Chiefs draft pick in that particular draft. But this is on that level. The names at the top of this quarterback class are going to have gold jackets in 20 years. That's how good these kids are. I will go on record as saying if like three of them aren't Hall of Famers, I'll eat my hat. I mean, they're really, really talented players. And I want to see who stands out. Like, who has their Anthony Richardson moment, like last year when he threw the ball out of the building. Who steps up and is accurate and poised like C.J. Stroud was. Who shows out like that? There is 5 or 6 guys I think could step up and be like, oh, this guy's real good. It doesn't have to be Caleb Williams. It could be the kid from Tulane. It could be Spencer Rattler. It could be Bo Nix. It could be any of those kids. Michael Penix could show up and be as good as he was against Oregon, and we forget the national championship game. I mean, anything could happen. Anybody could step up at any time. I just want to see who it is.
Right. So the likelihood of us drafting Caleb is not good. The likelihood of us wanting to make a move to get May is probably not as likely as us making a move to go up and get Jaden. What are your top 6-7 quarterbacks? Who do you want to see in silver and black?
Number one, I think would be Jaden Daniels, just because of the absolute talent. I mean, I have seen him play a few times. Obviously, as a Ducks fan, the one that sticks out to me is when he was with Arizona State, and he beat the Ducks entirely by himself. That was not a good team he played on. And he just, you can see college football games sometimes where there's one guy out there who's like a man playing with toddlers and just winning everything by himself. Jaden Daniels did that to the team that I really like. And I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. Oh, man, he's going to be real good. Real good. He was only like a freshman at that time. So it was super impressive for his age and maturity level to do the things that he did.
And his size. He was so small as a freshman.
He was a tiny little, he was a stick. He was a waif of a man. But he's filled out a bit at LSU, and he went to LSU and had a season of doing just what I saw him do against Oregon, against SEC defenses, which is not an easy thing to do. And that's the main guy I would want. But if they get someone like Bo Nix or Braden Platt, I think is the guy from Tulane, or Michael Penix, I would not be upset with any of those guys. I wouldn't be upset with Drake May. I wouldn't be upset with Spencer Rattler. Just get somebody. Just because any of the top 6 guys in this draft are better than Aiden O'Connell. Not that I dislike Aiden O'Connell, because I watched the entirety of the preseason the Raiders had last year for the sole purpose of seeing Aiden O'Connell play. And it was enjoyable. Like, that's the only reason I would have wanted to watch Raiders preseason. There was nothing
Right.
else really going on. And I didn't necessarily want to watch a Josh McDaniels coach football team. But, oh my God, Aiden O'Connell, he's at least new, and he was exciting, and he was freaking good.
Yeah.
But as good as he is, and as well as he did last season, he's still a step down from the top 6 or 7 guys in this draft. And
From
that's
what you can get.
that's no knock
Yeah.
on him. That's just this class is a different level.
Yeah. I would cut it off like about Spencer Rattler. Like he is the top of my do not draft list. Like I would be pretty happy with anybody. I like JJ McCarthy a lot. I think the big knock on him is that he didn't throw very much at Michigan, but the throws that he does make, like he's very accurate. He's a very good passer. He's not going to make like some of your Penix throws where he's standing back there and he can go opposite hash, 40 yards down the field and completely open up every spot on the field in the passing game. But where he wants to throw the ball, he's going to get it there, and I like that. And he's more athletic than AOC. So
McCarthy is probably going to surprise a lot of people at the combine by how athletic he is and how good his arm is. He was a perfect quarterback for the Michigan system. Jim Harbaugh knew exactly how to use him. He was highly successful in that system. I don't know how successful he's going to be at the NFL level because he didn't make a lot of the throws at Michigan that you're going to want to see him make in the NFL.
Right.
And he has yet to prove that he can make those. Now, if he proves he can make those with his high intelligence level and his high athleticism level, the sky's the limit for him. But he's too risky for my blood for the Raiders pick.
If Aiden had McCarthy's athleticism, he would be the perfect quarterback.
Oh, he'd be Fran Tarkin.
That's the thing. I don't want to not see Aiden to go on the career path that could potentially be there for him with that arm. But he's just such a statue. He's like, he has no lateral movement whatsoever. He doesn't run but
look, Aiden O'Connell could be Chase Daniel and make $1 bajillion doing nothing. And and God bless him for it. But the Raiders, if we look back on this, played this more or less perfectly. You paid Jimmy Garoppolo for basically nothing. You drafted Aiden O'Connell to be a backup, and Aiden O'Connell will be the backup in Las Vegas, God willing, for the next decade. But neither of those two guys that we had last year was ever going to be the long-term starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. Whoever we draft in this draft is going to be the long-term starter for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Right.
And that took some foresight. That took some balls, honestly, because to pay Jimmy Garoppolo that amount of money, banking on that he'll do what he does every year and get hurt, it's risky, but it's going to pay off very, very soon.
Well, it kind of begs the question. So if Josh McDaniels signed Jimmy Garoppolo to come in and be the starter and put the kibosh on Dave Ziegler acquiring CJ Stroud, which he had a plan in place to do, was he looking towards this class? And if so, who was he looking for?
I'm not going to give Josh McDaniels that much credit because Josh McDaniels is an idiot. I just think the franchise itself made certain decisions that put it in the place it is today, with or without Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels tends to fall upwards and back asswards into success, and
Yes.
that I think is what happened here. I don't think Josh McDaniels was the one who planned this as far as, we're going to suck for a year. It's no coach plans to suck. But
no, and he thought that his system was so perfect that Jimmy Garoppolo could suckeed in it.
I mean, Josh McDaniels thinks he's God's gift to football, and he's God's gift to the unemployment line right now. So we're having success in spite of his association with our franchise.
Yeah, it was good to see him go. All right, all right. I think it would be a cool thing if we did a mock draft, and so we'll go through and as the Raiders picks come, we'll go ahead and look at who's available and put something together. Now, I will say to everybody, this is these mock draft simulators are not accurate whatsoever. But it'll still give us some stuff to talk about
Yeah, they're on
around
drugs.
the picks. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
none of this is going to happen, but it's just fun.
Tyler and I had done some before we came on here, and Jaden Daniels was available at 13 for one of mine. He was taken at 12 for another one. Tyler had similar
Yeah,
similar
I had Drake May in the middle of the first round, and it was fantastic.
similar craziness. Okay, so I got an ad read, and we'll do that, and I'll get this mock draft cooked up. What up, nation? The 2023 NFL season is over, but fantasy football season never stops. You can already draft for the 2024 season on Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy football. The Big Board is a pre-NFL draft fantasy football contest with all the incoming rookies in the players pool, even the ones the Raiders haven't drafted yet. Draft your team in 20 rounds, and that's it. You leave it alone, set it and forget it. In best ball format, you get the optimal score to fill your starting lineup. A great way to get your dynasty startup draft fix without any league management at all. It's only $10 to enter, and over $2 million in prizes are up for grabs. How much of that do you want? Be sure to sign up for Underdog with promo code UNDROPPABLE. That's UNDROPPABLE, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. You put in $100, that's 10 leagues. We will give you 100 more. Sign up today. Alrighty. I don't want that as a full screen. Okay, so it already, I mean, we're simulating and it already gave us a couple picks. So Drake May and Caleb Williams go 1-2.
All right.
That's pretty chalky. And let's go ahead.
I don't think Drake May at 1 is chalky.
No, I meant them going 1 and 2. Oh, I don't think it's that order, but those are essentially the first two guys off the board. Okay. All right, so let's get.
Are there trades available here?
There are trades.
Okay.
And there goes Jaden, and we have trade offers. Okay. So we can drop down into the 40s into the second round.
Oh, jeez.
And so I'm going to go ahead and reject that one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We can drop down to pick 19 and let the Rams come up. Oh, my guy is gone.
That might not be who's your guy here?
Jerjon.
You know, the Broncos being one pick ahead of us terrifies me. Because I know in my heart they're going to take Bo Nix and I'll never watch football again.
It's it's kind of gonna have the same feeling of like watching CD Lamb and Jerry Jeudy go before, and then we got Ruggs.
Oh man, no, I liked Ruggs. It's just he was a knucklehead, unfortunately.
Okay, so we're looking at some of these guys. Latu, we don't really have a need for edge, but
thank goodness, because we had a need in there for a very, very long time. And I'm glad that one of the most important positions on the team is not a need for us right now. Unfortunately, just about everything else is. What quarterbacks are available still?
So JJ's there.
Okay.
And then there's some deeper guys that we were talking about. Let's go to offense and see. So Nix looks like he's going to be first round.
Yeah.
I like McCarthy and I like Fuaga or Quinyon Mitchell. Those would be my three targets here.
Yeah, I like those guys too. If we don't take a quarterback here, I'm just afraid we're going to end up with somebody we can't really build around super effectively. I personally would go with Bo Nix here, but that's just me. I don't know if McCarthy's going to be that guy in the NFL. I really don't.
We will go with Bo then. Okay. Right. So we go with Bo, and then we have a while before we pick again. Yeah. Fuaga goes to the Bengals. They could use him. Mitchell goes to the Rams.
Okay,
McCarthy.
hoping my guy is going to be here. I have a guy in mind. He's still there as far as I can see.
Adonai Mitchell is going to be special.
Yeah, there goes Penix to the Giants. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a big no because we are not doing a 2025 draft.
Yeah.
Can you look at defensive tackle for me real quick? There's my guy at the top, Tavondre Sweat. That's the guy I had written down for the second round.
Tavondre Sweat.
Yeah.
I like those all all of the cornerbacks I like went real quick.
I'm,
Um,
and they probably will.
so we have Lad McConkey and Xavier Worthy at the top of the board, and Malachi Corley, and those guys are absolute dogs.
Yeah.
Um, Xavier Worthy is going to be a pretty special take the top off slot guy. Lad is a do it all guy, and Malachi Corley is just a beast. There's the Kentucky Western Kentucky quarterback. Basically, Malachi Corley made him into an NFL quarterback.
Did Keon Coleman get picked already?
Keon went uh,
Okay.
a few picks ago.
Oh, okay.
But you're thinking we need to go
Yeah,
somebody
I
in the
think
middle.
you need a big ugly in the middle, and I think Sweat is the dude.
All right, let's do that. Jalen Polk is good, but Jalen McMillan's better. Jatavion Sanders is going to be a beast. Xavier Worthy to Cleveland. That would be.
Oh man, there's so many really really good players in this draft. It's just absolutely stacked.
Roman Wilson to the Ravens. I don't want anybody getting in the way of Zay
What's with
Flower.
the Patriots taking all my ducks? They took Troy Flanken and now they got Dorless. Jesus.
Well, I'm pretty sure we can usually say fuck the Patriots.
Well,
All right.
obviously. Let me see here. On my little sheet, my cheat sheet here, I have Blake Corum written down.
Bucky's
Is he
there.
available? Bucky Irving is there. They have his real name, don't they? In these little thingies.
This one it lists him as Bucky,
Okay.
and
Uh,
I
is,
think with losing Amir Abdullah and uh, Bolden, I think Bucky would be a great fit as a little satellite
yeah,
passing down back.
I do too. The other guy I had written down was Mike Sainer still. I've watched a lot of Michigan over the last couple of years. He's not, the biggest guy. He's not the greatest tackler in the world, but he is an absolute baller and makes plays. He makes 5 or 6 big time plays per game, and I think that's the kind of guy the Raiders need.
What
So he,
what's the name again?
Mike Sainer still, cornerback from Michigan.
There it is.
There he is. Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
He can be had probably a little bit later. He's at 99 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with Bucky, and then if Sainer was still there, he would be my guy in the 4th if he's available.
I'm not huge on Bucky just because of his size, but I know that he's a weapon, and if he's deployed correctly, he can be a game changer.
Luckily, the position the size matters the least is running back.
Oh, Sanders still just went
Oh, my heart. I'm sad now.
to Kansas City.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh
and Johnny Wilson to the Patriots. Johnny Wilson is an interesting one because he's a wide receiver who's 6'7", 235.
that's massive.
And we got an offer from the Bills to drop 16 picks and pick up 2 more.
Okay.
And one of them is not too far out. The 159 is not too bad.
Yeah,
I think we'd take that trade.
I think we take that too. There's a couple of guys down here I like a lot.
Braden Fisk is just
Oh,
waiting.
Jaden Wright is right there too. He went to the Bengals there. Uh, he's an electric player for sure.
I mean, you know, we could go and grab son
Oh,
of Oakland Raider legend Jerry Rice.
I see my guy right there though. The guy I had written down. It's right at the top of this list. Braden Fisk
Braden
from
Fisk.
Florida. Yeah, Braden Fisk is my guy. I had written.
So so we're running into it with two D tackles in the first.
We tried that a couple years ago. It didn't work out. We need to try it again.
Okay, okay. You don't want to take son of Raider legend.
No, I think he'll be. I think he might be there later.
All right.
So
Oh, there he
we're at pretty
goes.
soon again.
He goes to the Ravens. I every chance I get, I call Jerry Rice the Raider legend.
Absolutely.
Dallin Holker is another interesting
Okay,
guy.
I got a guy here, center from Wisconsin, Tanner Bortolini. Is he there?
Doesn't look like it. Is it Bor? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gone.
he's gone. Oh, okay. I guess he's not as big a secret as I thought he was. Okay. How about this? Receivers. I'm looking for one in particular.
What? Who's that?
I'm looking for Marcus Jackson from Georgia. There he is, Marcus Rosemy Jackson. He's way down there.
Yeah, he's going to be available
Jeez,
for a
well, I
while.
mean, I had him written down lower. It's just everyone else I like is leaving. Is Kim Hart, the cornerback for Notre Dame, still on the board?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Is Bo Limmer the offensive tackle from Arkansas there?
I like him. It doesn't look like it.
Okay. How about Drake Nugent from Michigan, the center?
He's there.
There
and
we
this
go.
Is a perfect place to take him.
And that is the last guy I've got written down. So the rest of it's all yours, buddy.
Okay. And I'm not drop 3. Yeah, let's go. Thanks, Bills. They're just feeding us.
Great. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So let's look at wide receiver 2. Joshua Cephas. We got our center. It's a good time
I'm going to assume the Raiders address offensive line and free agency at least a little bit.
Yes, they have to. We have to. I am a linebacker guy, and I like Tommy Eichenberg.
Yeah, me too. He came up in some big spots in some big games.
Sam Hartman goes to Denver. Please, do that. Make him your starter.
Quarterback of the future, Sam Hartman. Oh my God, I'll light a candle.
He was so bad. Michael Mayer made him, and he wasn't even that good.
I watched the entire Senior Bowl, and I got to see way too much Sam Hartman.
Yes. Maris Liafu from Notre Dame. Like him a lot too. So we got 2 linebackers.
All right.
And
as many as you can get.
I like Paul Bunyan. No, that's Michael Mayer. I'm trying to think of Mike Tyson's nicknames for the linebackers. Evan Williams, I got to make that pick just because of the name.
Oh, Evan Williams
So
is a baller. He's fantastic.
that's how serious we are here. We're drafting players because they have the same name as bourbon.
No, I've watched a lot of Evan Williams, and he had a big pick in the Senior Bowl. He's really good.
Let's look at cornerback.
Al Blades Jr. is a cool name.
Yeah. Of course, he went to Duke.
Yeah.
The Storm Duck. That's a great name.
I can't believe he didn't go to Oregon. I mean, I was watching his whole recruitment. I was like, this guy has to go to Eugene, and he just didn't. And I was like, what are you doing with your life, sir? You had one job, and you turned your back on
it. Go to Oregon, you duck. Nope. I'm not going to do anything to help the Jets out. All right, and we are shit. Let's just take Storm Duck.
We got any more picks?
I think we do. I think we have.
Well, we got to take Jackson with that last one if we have one more. Unless we're done. I don't know.
Oh, we're done. Okay.
We're done. All right. Well, if he was that low, I mean, he had a really good Senior Bowl, so I doubt he'll go undrafted. But he's really good. I would not be surprised if he gets picked up real quick in UDFA.
So we went Bo Nix, Tavondre Sweat, defensive tackle out of Texas, Bucky Irving, who I think he's gonna have a very nice career as a specialist. Braden Fisk, D tackle out of Florida State, Drake Nugent at center because we need to move on from Andre James, Eichenberg, and Liafu at linebacker, Evan Williams at safety, and Al Blades Jr. and Storm Duck. So 3 names, guys, to finish up the draft because we're serious.
Absolutely.
We do things.
Dude,
I really –
it's
I like that draft.
How serious can we be about this, really? But I like it, too. If this was how the draft actually shook out, I'd be ecstatic. There are
right?
There are 6 or 7 real ballers on that list that I think can make the Raiders a lot better than they are right now. There's some good.
Yeah,
good
and
players.
I'm really tired of hating Raiders drafts.
Oh, me too.
If they would just let me do it,
I know. Me too.
Then it would be all guys I like.
The franchise would be so much different if when I was 6 years old, they would put me in charge and said, here, sir, you just go ahead and whatever players you like and you watch the most, that you will just take them. If they had done that, the Raiders would be 11-time defending Super Bowl champions right now. There's no question about that.
Yes. So yeah, just make me the GM, damn it. That was fun, and we're going to do that a lot more throughout the draft season. And other than that, I just want to say thank you for joining me again, Tyler. We'll do it again next week. And for all of you guys out there in Raider Nation, fuck the Broncos.
Fuck the Broncos. Peace.
Fuck the Broncos. And it could be fuck the Chiefs, and it could be fuck the Chargers. But I don't really spend too much time worrying about the Chargers.
Nobody does.
Chargers can, nobody does. All right. Thank you, everybody.